Attention, all epic Hearts of Iron 4 gamers. Mikhail Gorbachev's entire situation. He's lost into a pony mod and he needs your help. All he needs is your credit card number, 3 digits on the back, and expiration date. Only with this information he can conquer all the pony universe. Greetings, my epic Hoi 4 gamers. Here we are in the Equestria at War Escalation 84.
Without further interruption, let's celebrate
And play Hoi 4. And you may ask, why are we here in the pony mod? Just to suffer? No guys, look at this. We have USSR in the pony mod with its leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Let's see. So now in the pony mod we have Soviet Union, we have Union of European Nations, and we have United States of America. But we're gonna play as the Soviet Union. And also I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the biography of Mikhail Gorbachev through this video. Союз нерушимый республик народных. Here we are, guys. Mikhail Gorbachev. We have a lot of political advisors. Some of them are pretty well known. For example, this guy, Boris Yeltsin, King of Vodka, Ayatollah Khamenei. Insane. So we have a lot of debuffs right at the start. First of all, we have precarious conditions, no political power, no recruitable population, no stability, no research speed. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. We have radiation sickness, no manpower. We have strangers from another world, again no manpower and also no compliance. We have Arab ethnic dispute. That's why I guess there are a lot of Arab leaders. But I think we are missing one very important guy. Widespread famine and human armies, which is pretty strong buff. Now let's look at the focus tree. Focus tree is not that huge, but it has some advantages. For example, we have 3 paths. Гласность and Perestroika. We have Soviet reform, just the strong Soviet Union. And we have, I guess this is the Arab path, because a call from the steppe sounds something like an Arab would say. Last time I played a Soviet reform, I thought that it was the OG Mikhail Gorbachev path, but it was a huge mistake because, as you can see here, replace Gorbachev. We don't want to be here. So we're gonna play Гласность and Perestroika.
my life be like.
MC Gorbachev. Let me tell you his biography. Mikhail Sergeyevich was born in 1931 in the Stavropol region in southern Russia. His childhood was far from easy. Many relatives were repressed, and at the age of 10 during the Great Patriotic War, little Misha survived the German occupation. At the age of 13, he began working on a collective farm, and he was so successful that in 1949 he was awarded the Order of the Red Banner of Labor. This was a prestigious award for outstanding workers. Thanks to this award, Gorbachev entered the Moscow State University in 1950 without taking entrance exams, and in 1952 he was accepted into the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Mikhail's fortunes continued as Khrushchev's policies focused on attracting young people, one of whom was Gorbachev. From the 1950s to the 70s, he rose through the ranks of the party, enjoying the patronage of Andropov himself, the head of the KGB. With such patronage, by 1980, Gorbachev was already a member of the Politburo. We will return to the story of Gorbachev, but for now, let's play a little. Our goal today, of course, is to be the only human in this pony mod.
I'm only human, after all, don't put the blame on me.
So we need to capitulate Union of European Nations, we need to capitulate USA, and I think we need to get rid of channeling lands. I would love to conquer Equestria, but there is a terrible problem, the game just crashes. We're gonna try it, but there is no guarantee of success. Right at the start of the game we have a lot of problems. First of all, only one research slot. Second, no military or civilian factories. Third, we don't have any adequate division template. How are we gonna fix all of these problems?
Arthur, I have a plan.
Well, we can go to our focus tree. There are a lot of very strong early game focuses, which we're gonna pick. There is nothing interesting in this part, so it will happen off screen for you. Our first enemy are those black pony called channeling lens. Why am I saying such a things? Black pony lives matter.
No to racism.
This is funny, there is a focus about Khrushchevka. If you wanna know how Khrushchevkas were made, go to my last video about Nikita Sergeyevich Khrushchev. The channeling lens are expanding, black versus white pony, and I think soon we need to be ready. What is our military plan? I think mass assault doctrine is the way to go. There is a lot of huge discounts for this military doctrine. We have a decision to acquire few islands near Equestria. This one will be the first island for the recreation of the party elite. Ура, товарищи! Another island bought. This will be our archipelago Gulag. We are the Soviet Union after all.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
And for anyone wondering, here is our division template. I forgot to mention that now we are in the alliance with Equestria for some time. And on behalf of this alliance, we're gonna enter the war with a channeling lens. Вперед! And while this war is dragging on, I'm gonna tell the next part of Mikhail Sergeyevich Gorbachev's biography. Oh, and guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, suggest more videos, because more content will come.
I'll show you who's boss in this gym.
Brezhnev died in 82, Andropov in 84, and Chernenko in 85. 3 general secretaries in 5 years.
When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these kids started killing themselves all over my property.
It was for this reason that Gorbachev, a relatively young and energetic crisis manager, became the next general secretary. By that time, the USSR was in dire state. The economy was in decline.
Look at this graph.
A strange war was being waged in Afghanistan, and the Warsaw Pact bloc was crumbling at the seams. I want to point out that Gorbachev didn't want to end the experiment called the USSR. He only wanted to reform the country along the lines of the Western democracies. The process that would go down in history as Perestroika began. The first step was the introduction of the anti-alcohol law. Frankly, the alcohol situation in Russia was really bad. Back then, the average man consumed an average of 100 bottles of vodka a year. That's 2 bottles of vodka a week. You can say that Gorbachev did the right thing, that he banned the alcohol. But let's look at the consequences. There was an alcohol shortage, so a surge in moonshining. Huge budget revenue losses, estimated at up to 10 billion rubles per year. Massive public discontent. The deforestation of vineyards caused damage to the wine-growing regions of the southern Russia, which took decades to address. In short, this campaign was already deemed ineffective by 1987. Also in 1985, Boris Yeltsin, Gorbachev's future main opponent, was appointed mayor of Moscow. We can add to all of these problems Chernobyl nuclear disaster. But there were also good decisions from Gorbachev's administration. In 1987, the policy of democracy and glasnost was launched, which subsequently led to a market economy, free elections, and the destruction of the Bolshevik monopoly power in the country. That same year, the USSR embarked on economic reform, which provided for greater enterprise autonomy based on the principles of business accounting and self-financing, the one introduced by Kosygin. Unprofitable enterprises were closed, individual entrepreneurship was permitted, and commercial banks were established. In 1988, the Soviet equivalent of parliament was created, the Council of People's Deputies of the USSR. Where did all these democratic reforms of Gorbachev come from? It's very simple. Unlike ordinary Soviet citizens, he traveled the world. From 1917 to 84, he visited France, Belgium, Great Britain, Italy, and Canada. During these trips, Mikhail Sergeyevich realized that the Soviet Union could no longer resist the West. Hence another of Gorbachev's idea, international detente unilaterally on the part of the USSR. The Soviet Union needed to be saved, so there was simply no money for foreign policy. As a result of this, troops were withdrawn from Afghanistan, the Berlin Wall was torn down, and Germany became united again. The Soviet bloc of Warsaw Pact also collapsed. During the 1980s, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria became independent countries. The problem with Gorbachev's Perestroika was this: he wanted everything at once. Everyone understood that the transition to a market economy would be a very painful process for a country, and with the free press, criticism intensified exponentially. And yet, despite all of this, Gorbachev wanted to preserve the Soviet Union. The funny thing is he could have succeeded, but in August 1991, everything went south. We will return to Gorbachev shortly, but for this time, we won our first war. We're getting bigger.
That's because Jesus Christ is my...
Wait a second. Our next plan is Kingdom of Wingbardy. We're justified a war and we are ready to start. The reason for a Kingdom of Wingbardy war is pretty obvious. We cannot land on the United States of America turf. They will just kill our naval invasion. So we're gonna go around. In this pony universe, Wingbardy is a fascist state, and its leader, Bicolini, is a fascist scum. So in a very weird way, it's a pretty historical game. Communists are fighting fascists and even winning. Okay, these guys are done, and now we can declare war on a puppet of the United States of America, New Maryland. And I thought, haha, USA, your days are numbered. But look what happened. European Union created United Nations and just annexed all the USA. So first target is kinda done. USA is no longer exist. But we need now to kill European nations or the United Nations, which will be our last war, I promise. So I declared the war on Equestria, and look what happened. United Nations now have a federation with Equestria, so they form one mega big, very strong country. It will be a very big struggle, but we will win, no matter what. While this war is raging on, we will finish the biography of Mikhail Sergeyevich Gorbachev. On August 19, 1991, a group of high-ranking Soviet officials, Vice President Yenaev, Prime Minister Pavlov, Defense Minister Yazov, and others, announced the formation of the State Emergency Committee. They sought to prevent the signing of a new Union Treaty, which would effectively transform the USSR into confederation and sharply limit the power of the center. At that time, Gorbachev was vacationing at his residence in Foros. Communications with him was cut off. According to him, the conspirators had disconnected the telephone and blocked his travel. He refused to support the coup or sign the State Emergency Committee's decrees. For 3 days from August 19 to 21, Gorbachev was effectively under house arrest. After the coup failed, largely due to the resistance of Boris Yeltsin and the citizens of Moscow, Gorbachev returned to Moscow. However, his political position was severely undermined. Power effectively passed to Yeltsin and the leadership of the RSFSR. Following the events of August 1991, the Soviet Union began to rapidly disintegrate. Republic after republic declared independence. On December 25, 1991, Gorbachev delivered his final address to the nation and announced his resignation as president of the USSR. The following day, December 26, the Soviet Union legally ceased to exist. After 1991, Mikhail Gorbachev engaged in public and international activities. He founded the Gorbachev Foundation and the Green Cross, lectured worldwide, wrote books and memoirs, and actively participated in discussions of global issues, from nuclear disarmament to ecology. Gorbachev repeatedly criticized both the authoritarian tendencies of post-Soviet Russia and the chaotic market reforms of the 1990s. Although his image was controversial in Russia, in the West he remained the symbol of peaceful change and the end of the Cold War. In 1997, when I was born, Gorbachev unexpectedly appeared in an advertisement for the American chain Pizza Hut. In the commercial, he and his granddaughter enter a Moscow Pizza Hut restaurant where the patrons argue, because of him we have democracy, versus because of him this chaos. In the end, everyone reconciles when they realize thanks to him we have Pizza Hut. According to Gorbachev, he used the fee for the ad to develop his foundation. Gorbachev continued to participate in public debate until the end of his life, advocating for peace and dialogue between Russia and the West. He died on August 30, 2022 in Moscow at the age of 91. By the way, all of our northern army is completely encircled, so there will be a race. Who will capitulate first? Equestrian Federation or me? Let's observe the last minutes of Equestrian Federation. We have a proverb in Russia: "После нас хоть потоп", after us the deluge. It signifies disregard for the consequences of one's action, concern only for one's own gain, and complete indifference to what happens after one is gone. This is our situation. We will capitulate our main enemy and we will die soon after. But who cares? We win. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like it. Leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. And bye bye.